Video games promoting violent and aggressive behavior and glorifying guns should still be banned. It's not exactly a matter of personal choice whether or not to buy the games, especially with most of the advertising being directed at kids and not specifying an age group per se. With the advertising directed at kids, it influences them. They're impressionable. They see that cool commercial for that new game and they want to get it regardless of the violence. And it can't be left up to the parents solely to take care of this. Even if parents look at the restrictions, they may still buy it for their children. We can't rely on them to make the proper decisions for their kids. If a kid plays a violent video game and then goes into school and commits an aggressive act, the victim of that act is at an unfair disadvantage. I mean, should the victim really be victimized simply because there was a lack of parenting on the other kid's part? Is that really even fair? Um, why should other kids suffer from bad parenting? And that's what happens with aggressive behavior is other kids are affected. So you can't leave it up to just parents. Tougher restrictions and requiring IDs to buy games won't make a huge difference either. You could always just have an older person buy the game for you, or maybe an older sibling already has the game and passes it down to a younger sibling. There are ways around it, just like people get around the alcohol laws, have someone older get it for them. The same thing would happen with video games. It wouldn't really solve anything. Um, you also mentioned that it would help kids learn self-control, but what happens if they don't? What happens if they play the games and they decide that aggressive behavior is okay? They're young, their brain isn't fully developed, their judgment isn't what it will be in their adult years, and hoping that they'll learn self-control from these video games is kind of ridiculous. Um, there's no reason to think that they would just mature from these games. Self-control has to be taught to them by a parent, but again, we can't rely solely on the parent. Um, you also admitted that it does make changes to brain chemistry and it is harmful for kids. So why would we promote these games if everyone knows that they're harmful? It's not a matter of personal choice. It's not a matter of parenting. It's a matter of the government has to step in and protect our children from these aggressive acts that they're going to think is okay when clearly they're not okay. And we can't just leave it up to the children or the parents because humans are flawed. And the government has to do something.